for a start. The clutch is in, it's in gear, they're waiting for the starter to give his signal. He does, and they're away. 21 teams blast into the first corner, and it's Kees van der Ven at the front of the pack again, followed by David Thorp as they all round the first turn safely. It's van der Ven followed by Thorp with Michele Maggiarotto in third and Jeff Ward in fourth. But what's happened to Bailey? There he is. He'll have started this time from the second row of the grid, and he'll have had all that traffic to fight his way through on the first couple of laps. Everybody's under the same trouble in at least one of these races. And this time it's Bailey who's got his work cut out. So in the lead, it's Kees van der Ven, Dave Thorp, Michele Maggiarotto and Jeff Ward from America. Ron Lachine there on the 125 Honda, taking somebody in the air. He's afraid of nobody, this 18-year-old American. That's Rob Andrews, 14th in his class in the first race, 7th in race 2. But that's Kees van der Ven leading Dave Thorp. Thorp won't be happy with that state of affairs. He'll be determined to gain his revenge for that second race defeat. But where are the other two Americans? There's Ron Lachine, and behind him David Bailey. They won't be happy with that at all, as David Thorp is back into the lead. Thorp leads van der Ven. He said between the races he thought he'd have more time in that second race to take van der Ven back. He'd got his pit signals messed about, and he was left with no time to get back on terms. There's David Bailey. He's taken 2 places on that 1 lap. And he'll be fighting back through the field to get on terms with these men. David Thorp, the World 500 champion, and Kees van der Ven from Holland. Third place man Jeff Ward. And in fourth, it's Michele Maggiarotto from Italy. It's number 14, Kurt Lundqvist on the Yamaha from Finland. David Thorp. No nonsense about him, no histrionics, no acting, just straightforward, getting on with the business of winning races. That's Dave Thorp's philosophy, and that's just what he does. David Bailey battling back to get on terms with the leaders. But Dave Thorp, I think this time he's not going to make the mistake that he made in the second race. Already he's opened out a convincing lead on Kees van der Ven, who's ahead of Jeff Ward, and there's Michele Maggiarotto in fourth place. Taking place at the end of the season, this Motocross of Nations, it's always the last chance for riders to impress the factories with a view to 1986 contract time. Ron Lachine, of course, will be next year joining this man, Jeff Ward, in the Kawasaki team in America, but he's got no plans to contest the Grand Prix in Europe. Lachine, followed by Jukka Sintonen, Finnish Husqvarna rider, and David Bailey on the Honda. Gert-Jan van Doorn on the 250 Honda from the Netherlands side. And Dave Thorp out in front, as befits the world champion. Jeff Ward in third place. And Maggiarotto in fourth. Maggiarotto, a good showing at the British Grand Prix at Farley Castle this year. That's Sintonen. And that's David Bailey. 22 is Søren Mortensen of Denmark on the 500 Kawasaki. But that's the leader, Dave Thorp. From Bracknell, Berkshire. A long way away from this man, Jeff Ward, from the United States. A massive crowd at Geldorf, braving the elements. Rain during the second race, which seems to have cleared up for this last encounter of the 1985 Motocross of Nations, as Kees van der Ven holds on to second spot, Jeff Ward in third. Ronnie Lachine there, with yet another rider in his sights. One thing these Americans aren't afraid of is passing people. They're taught that in the rough, tough, hurly-burly of American Stadium Cross. Short races where they've got no second chance. That's Dave Thorp from Kees van der Ven. Van der Ven thought for many years to be just a sand specialist who couldn't cope with these sort of hard, grassy tracks. But he's disproving anybody who still thinks that today. That's German Roland Diepold on the Kawasaki. He's been one of the surprises of this event. David Bailey. But out in front, it's Dave Thorp with a substantial lead over Kees van der Ven. Third man, Jeff Ward. So Dave Thorp leads. As he goes round one loop, that's Ron Lachine up into 5th place on his Works 125 Honda. Many people said this format of having all the classes racing together wouldn't work, but Ron Lachine's proved that it can. In 5th place, he's ahead of David Bailey on a Works 500 Honda, a remarkable achievement. So Dave Thorp leads, Kees van der Ven there, not having such a good ride. He's in 2nd place. Jeff Ward is 3rd. And that's Michele Magarotto in 4th place, ahead of Lachine. Roland Diepold down in 10th place, as Dave Thorp forges ahead at the front. Round the tight turns that slow them down just before that leap which marks the finish line. Kees van der Ven on the KTM in 2nd place. Jeff Ward 3rd. An all-action style from Ronnie Lachine, who's fighting to try and get that 4th place from Magarotto. If he puts the pressure on, Magarotto could well crack. He's known to be excitable, like most of his compatriots, and he doesn't stand up to the pressure all that well. If Lachine can get him in his sights, he could be in business. But there's Ward in a safe 3rd place now. He won't be risking anything to try and get into the lead. You know, he and Lachine are both quite well aware that their placings will be good enough to give America the title for the 5th time in a row. Now that's Dietmar Lacker from Germany on the 125 KTM, and his result could be vital to their fortunes. If he can hold on to that 14th place, Germany could just finish 3rd overall. The overall result calculated on the team's 6 best performances out of the 9 results. So the winner in each class gets 1 point, second man 2 points, and so on down the field. But although all the classes are being run in one race, for the purposes of the results, it might just as well be 3 separate races. David Thorp, his individual score will be excellent, but it won't be enough for Britain. But Kees van der Ven's excellent results will probably be enough to give Netherlands the runner-up placing. Unfortunately, there's no doubt about who's going to win. America look destined to get 5 first places. They'll be dropping probably a 3rd place and a 4th place out of their result, and there's no doubt whatsoever that they're going to win it. You have to hand it to them. They come over here, they're superbly organised, superb riders, machinery's excellent, and they've got just the right skills that are needed to become world team champions. still out in front. As we wind towards the closing stages of the race and the closing stages of the Motocross of Nations for 1985. Hayes van der Ven in second place. And Jeff Ward in third spot. Behind him, the Italian Magarotto. And then Ron Lechine. That's Bailey. He's down in sixth position. But that won't worry him too much. He'll be fourth in his class. And that's probably Dave Strybos. He's down in ninth place, followed by Jackie Vimont and the Portuguese rider Carlos Correia, who had that accident earlier on. 54 is Christoph Husser from Switzerland. They're well out of the hunt. And number 5, Jackie Martins from Belgium. But there's the leader, David Thorp. No close race in this heat. Second man, Kees van der Ven, is well beaten. Only a serious mistake by Thorp can rob him of victory now. And Jeff Ward goes through in third place. That's Leif Persson from Sweden, trying to hold off the challenge of Magarotto. As Lechine goes through. And that's Bailey. Down in sixth position. Dave Strybos. And back in the lead, it's David Thorp. Being oh so careful now. He doesn't want to make any mistakes at all. Hayes van der Ven. He's not going to risk anything going for the lead. Second place is quite good enough to give his Dutch team second place overall. Jeff Ward, first in the 250 class, so he's quite happy with that. Provided he stays in that position, that'll be 3 out of 3 for him. 3 class wins. While this man, Ron Lechine, his result sheet was only spoiled by his first race, where he had that dreadful start. David Bailey, second in the first race, third in the second, and now fourth in his class in this final encounter. 14, Kurt Lundqvist from Finland. And number 7, David Thorp. Next year he'll be swapping that number 7 for the number 1 plate in the 500 Grand Prix. Ronnie Lechine, 4th overall on a 125, much to everybody's surprise. He's proved beyond doubt that the new format Motocross of Nations works and works well. As David Thorp now in the closing stages of the race. He's biding his time, he's counting the minutes until that 2-lap board goes out. Be kept well informed by his mechanic, who also just happens to be his dad. Ron Lechine, just look at the aggression there, hunched over the bars, determined as ever. These American riders really have the right attitude to the sport. Very aggressive, very determined. The word second just isn't in their vocabulary. Winning is all they know. David Thorp. First got on a motorcycle at the age of 2. And he's been perfecting the art of racing them ever since. Rode in his first competitive race at 6 years of age. Won his first British Championship at the age of 8. And now has a world title to add to that. A world title, that's something that Jeff Ward and Ron Lechine still have to come. as has David Bailey. They've decided to concentrate their career in the United States, where there's big money to be earned on the AMA National Circuit, from Stadium Cross and from conventional races like this. That's Dave Thorp still out in front. Kees van der Ven still in second place, as Dave Thorp leaps across the line to start his last lap, followed by van der Ven. Less than a mile now to the checkered flag, also for this man Jeff Ward. And here's the man who's going to make it 2 wins out of 3, David Thorp, followed by Kees van der Ven, will be leading the Dutch to an almost certain second place in the Motocross of the Nation. And here's the team captain of what looks certain to be the winning team, the USA. That's David Bailey. Jeff Ward on the 250 Kawasaki. And the 125 member of that team, Ronnie Lachine. As David Thorp, just 3 or 4 turns now to win the final race in this 1985 Motocross of the Nations. England may not have won, but Thorp's proved that he's worthy of the title, world champion. Kees van der Ven crosses the line in second spot, and Jeff Ward is third. He's in no danger at all from fourth man and teammate Ron Lachine on the 125 Honda. Lachine will be well pleased with that 4th place against some much more powerful machinery. So the 500cc leaders, Dave Thorp, Kees van der Ven, Michele Magarotto, David Bailey, Soren Mortensen and Jackie Vimor. 250 class, it's Jeff Ward from America, Roland Diepold of Germany, Kurt